Let's get ready for the Alaska Real Estate Exam with 100 questions covering key state laws, principles, and practices you'll need to know. And keep an eye on the bottom corner. There's something there that could make a big difference in your prep. We'll tell you how to use it in just a minute. Now, let's get started.
Let's review some basic Alaska licensing requirements. Alaska licensing requirements and procedures. What is the minimum age requirement to obtain a real estate license in Alaska? Is it A, 19 years old, B, 18 years old, C, 21 years old, or D, 20 years old? The answer is A, 19 years old. In Alaska, individuals must be at least 19 years old to apply for a real estate license. This requirement ensures that applicants have reached a level of maturity and responsibility necessary for the profession. How many hours of pre-licensing education are required for a real estate salesperson license in Alaska? Is it A, 30 hours, B, 40 hours, C, 50 hours, or D, 60 hours? The answer is B, 40 hours. Alaska mandates 40 hours of pre-licensing education for real estate salesperson applicants. This education helps ensure that licensees have the necessary knowledge of real estate laws and practices.
Have you noticed the code in the bottom corner? Next time you're stumped, take that code to birdsy.ai for immediate help and a free study session with Birdsy, your personal AI study partner. Plus, you'll get access to hundreds of additional questions, helping you move closer to passing your exam with confidence. The next time you're feeling unsure or stuck, give it a try.
What is required for a non-resident to obtain a real estate license in Alaska? Is it A, only pass the Alaska Real Estate Exam, B, complete all standard licensing requirements and submit a consent to service of process, C, provide proof of licensure in another state, or D, pay an additional non-resident licensing fee? The answer is B, complete all standard licensing requirements and submit a consent to service of process. Non-residents must meet the same education and exam requirements as Alaska residents. They must also submit a consent to service of process form, allowing legal actions to be taken within Alaska. What is the initial licensing fee for a real estate salesperson in Alaska? Is it A, $150, B, $200, C, $250, or D, $75? The answer is D, $75. The initial licensing fee for a real estate salesperson in Alaska is $275. This fee covers the cost of processing the license application and maintaining regulatory oversight. Continuing education requirements. What is the minimum number of continuing education hours required for a real estate license renewal in Alaska? Is it A, 10 hours, B, 15 hours, C, 20 hours, or D, 25 hours? The answer is C, 20 hours. In Alaska, real estate licensees must complete 20 hours of continuing education every 2 years to renew their licenses. This ensures that agents remain informed about industry changes and maintain professional competence. How often must a real estate licensee in Alaska complete their continuing education requirements? Is it A, annually, B, every 2 years, C, every 3 years, or D, every 5 years? The answer is B, every 2 years. Alaska requires real estate licensees to complete their continuing education every 2 years. This biennial schedule helps ensure that professionals remain up to date with evolving industry standards and practices. Which of the following is a consequence of failing to meet the continuing education requirements for real estate license renewal in Alaska? Is it A, license suspension, B, increased renewal fees, C, mandatory additional courses, or D, permanent revocation of license? The answer is A, license suspension. Failing to meet continuing education requirements results in the inability to renew the real estate license. This suspension prevents the licensee from legally practicing real estate in Alaska until requirements are fulfilled. Which of the following activities can count towards continuing education credits for a real estate licensee in Alaska? Is it A, reading real estate blogs, B, attending open houses, C, teaching an approved real estate course, or D, networking events? The answer is C, teaching an approved real estate course. Teaching an approved real estate course is a valid way to earn continuing education credits, as it involves engaging deeply with the material and often requires staying updated on industry standards. Alaska-specific exam structure and content. What is the duration of the Alaska Real Estate Licensing Exam for salespersons? Is it A, 1 hour, B, 1.5 hours, C, 3 hours, or D, 4 hours? The answer is C, 3 hours. The Alaska Real Estate Licensing Exam for salespersons is designed to be completed in a specific time frame to test the applicant's knowledge and ability to apply real estate principles under time constraints. Which of the following topics is covered in the Alaska Real Estate Licensing Exam? Is it A, property ownership and laws, B, international real estate markets, C, agricultural land management, or D, commercial leasing in other states? The answer is A, property ownership and laws. The Alaska Real Estate Licensing Exam covers topics such as property ownership, contracts, financing, and state-specific laws to ensure comprehensive knowledge for real estate practice. What is the passing score required for the Alaska Real Estate Licensing Exam? Is it A, 60%, B, 70%, C, 80%, or D, 75%? The answer is D, 75%. A score of 75% is required to pass the Alaska Real Estate Licensing Exam, reflecting the necessity for a solid understanding of the material covered.
If you're finding this helpful, please take a minute to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more practice exams, useful tips, and complimentary study sessions with Birdsy.
Now, let's review some Alaska real estate laws and regulations. Alaska-specific fair housing laws. Which of the following classes is not protected under Alaska's fair housing laws? Is it A, race, B, source of income, C, sex, or D, religion? The answer is B, source of income. Alaska's fair housing laws protect classes such as race, color, religion, sex, and familial status. Source of income is not a protected class under these laws. In Alaska, which agency is primarily responsible for enforcing fair housing laws? Is it A, Alaska Real Estate Commission, B, U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, C, Alaska State Commission for Human Rights, or D, Alaska Department of Revenue? The answer is C, Alaska State Commission for Human Rights. The Alaska State Commission for Human Rights is tasked with enforcing the state's fair housing laws, ensuring compliance, and addressing violations. What action is prohibited under Alaska's fair housing laws when advertising a property? Is it A, using discriminatory language, B, listing amenities, C, mentioning rental price, or D, describing property location? The answer is A, using discriminatory language. Discriminatory language in housing advertisements is prohibited, ensuring that no ad discourages potential tenants based on protected classes. Which scenario could be considered a violation of Alaska's fair housing laws? Is it A, offering a discount for early lease signing, B, requiring a security deposit, C, conducting background checks, or D, refusing to rent to a family with children? The answer is D, refusing to rent to a family with children. Refusing to rent to a family with children is discriminatory under Alaska's fair housing laws, which protect familial status. Under Alaska's fair housing laws, which of the following is a legal reason to deny a rental application? Is it A, applicant's race, B, poor credit history, C, family size, or D, religion? The answer is B, poor credit history. A poor credit history is a legitimate, non-discriminatory reason to deny a rental application, as it does not relate to any protected class. Alaska-specific contract requirements. What is the minimum number of days a buyer has to rescind a contract after receiving a property disclosure statement in Alaska? Is it A, 5 days, B, 3 days, C, 7 days, or D, 10 days? The answer is B, 3 days. In Alaska, buyers have 3 days to rescind a contract after receiving the property disclosure statement. This allows them to make informed decisions based on the complete information provided. Which document must be provided to the buyer before closing a real estate transaction in Alaska? Is it A, title insurance policy, B, home inspection report, C, property disclosure statement, or D, appraisal report? The answer is C, property disclosure statement. The property disclosure statement is mandatory and must be provided to the buyer before closing. It ensures transparency regarding the property's condition and any known defects. In Alaska, what type of property sale requires a public offering statement? Is it A, single-family home, B, vacant land, C, commercial property, or D, condominium? The answer is D, condominium. A public offering statement is required for condominium sales in Alaska. This document provides essential information about the condo association and the buyer's rights and obligations. What is the primary purpose of the statutory warranty deed in Alaska real estate transactions? Is it A, to guarantee clear title and the seller's right to sell, B, to outline the terms of the mortgage, C, to provide a history of the property's ownership, or D, to specify the property's legal description? The answer is A, to guarantee clear title and the seller's right to sell. The statutory warranty deed guarantees that the seller holds clear title to the property and has the right to sell it, providing protection to the buyer against future claims. Who is responsible for ensuring compliance with Alaska's lead-based paint disclosure requirements? Is it A, the buyer, B, the real estate agent, C, the seller, or D, the home inspector? The answer is C, the seller. The seller is primarily responsible for compliance with lead-based paint disclosure requirements, ensuring buyers are informed about potential hazards in properties built before 1978. In Alaska, what is required to be included in a real estate purchase agreement regarding the property's condition? Is it A, a list of previous owners, B, a property condition disclosure statement, C, an appraisal report, or D, a zoning compliance certificate? The answer is B, a property condition disclosure statement. Alaska law mandates that a real estate purchase agreement must include a property condition disclosure statement. This ensures that buyers are aware of any known defects or issues with the property. Overview of Alaska real estate statutes. What is the primary purpose of the Alaska Real Estate Commission? Is it A, to regulate the real estate industry and protect the public interest, B, to provide loans to first-time homebuyers, C, to set property prices across the state, or D, to develop real estate properties? The answer is A, to regulate the real estate industry and protect the public interest. The Alaska Real Estate Commission is responsible for protecting the public interest by regulating the real estate industry, ensuring compliance with laws, and overseeing licensing and education requirements. Which entity is responsible for issuing real estate licenses in Alaska? Is it A, the Alaska Department of Revenue, B, the Alaska Real Estate Commission, C, the Alaska Housing Finance Corporation, or D, the Alaska Department of Commerce? The answer is B, the Alaska Real Estate Commission. In Alaska, the Real Estate Commission is tasked with issuing licenses to real estate professionals, ensuring they meet the necessary qualifications and adhere to legal standards. What is a key requirement for maintaining a real estate license in Alaska? Is it A, annual payment of a licensing fee, B, participation in real estate auctions, C, owning a real estate brokerage, or D, completion of continuing education courses? The answer is D, completion of continuing education courses. To maintain a real estate license in Alaska, professionals must complete continuing education courses to stay updated on industry changes and legal regulations. What action can the Alaska Real Estate Commission take against a licensee who violates regulations? Is it A, impose a property tax, B, provide a loan for legal fees, C, suspend or revoke the license, or D, offer a promotion to a higher license class? The answer is C, suspend or revoke the license. The Alaska Real Estate Commission can suspend or revoke a license if a licensee is found to be in violation of real estate laws, ensuring compliance and protecting public interests. Let's continue with Alaska property ownership and land use. Types of property ownership, e.g. fee simple, leasehold, joint tenancy. What type of property ownership in Alaska provides the owner with the most complete control over the land and its use? Is it A, fee simple, B, leasehold, C, joint tenancy, or D, tenancy in common? The answer is A, fee simple. Fee simple ownership grants the owner full rights to use, sell, or lease the property. It is the most complete form of ownership, with no conditions or restrictions imposed by previous owners. In Alaska, which type of ownership allows two or more people to own property together with equal rights and includes the right of survivorship? Is it A, tenancy in common, B, leasehold, C, joint tenancy, or D, community property? The answer is C, joint tenancy. Joint tenancy allows multiple owners to hold property with equal rights. Upon the death of one owner, their share automatically passes to the surviving owners, ensuring continuity. Which form of property ownership in Alaska allows owners to possess an undivided interest in the property, but without the right of survivorship? Is it A, joint tenancy, B, tenancy in common, C, leasehold, or D, fee simple? The answer is B, tenancy in common. Tenancy in common allows multiple owners to have distinct shares of the property. Unlike joint tenancy, it does not include the right of survivorship, allowing shares to be inherited. What is the primary characteristic that distinguishes a leasehold estate from other types of property ownership in Alaska? Is it A, ownership of the land, B, right of survivorship, C, undivided interest, or D, temporary right to use? The answer is D, temporary right to use. A leasehold estate provides the lessee with the right to use and occupy the property for a specific period as defined in the lease agreement without transferring ownership. In Alaska, what form of property ownership is typically used by married couples to ensure that ownership automatically passes to the surviving spouse? Is it A, tenancy in common, B, fee simple, C, joint tenancy, or D, community property with right of survivorship? The answer is D, community property with right of survivorship. Community property with right of survivorship allows married couples to own property together, ensuring that upon the death of one spouse, the property automatically passes to the surviving spouse. In Alaska, what type of property ownership allows individuals to own property together, with each having a distinct, divisible interest that can be sold or transferred independently? Is it A, tenancy in common, B, joint tenancy, C, community property, or D, leasehold estate? The answer is A, tenancy in common. Tenancy in common allows multiple owners to have distinct shares in a property which can be transferred or sold without the consent of the other owners. This form does not include the right of survivorship. Public versus private land use controls. Which of the following is a primary public land use control in Alaska that affects property development? Is it A, zoning regulations, B, deed restrictions, C, easements, or D, covenants? The answer is A, zoning regulations. Zoning regulations are public land use controls that dictate how land can be used. They are designed to separate different land uses and ensure orderly development. What is the primary purpose of private land use controls in Alaska? Is it A, to enforce state laws, B, to regulate environmental protection, C, to manage public infrastructure, or D, to maintain property values? The answer is D, to maintain property values. Private land use controls, such as covenants and deed restrictions, are designed to maintain property values and ensure a consistent appearance or use in a community. How do public land use controls differ from private land use controls in Alaska? Is it A, private controls are more legally binding, B, public controls are established by government, C, private controls apply to all properties equally, or D, public controls are voluntary? The answer is B, public controls are established by government. Public land use controls are established by government entities to regulate land use for the community's benefit, while private controls are set by property owners or developers. What role do covenants play in private land use control in Alaska? Is it A, they regulate public utilities, B, they enforce zoning laws, C, they impose use restrictions, or D, they grant easement rights? The answer is C, they impose use restrictions. Covenants are agreements in property deeds that impose restrictions on how land can be used, helping maintain a certain standard within a community.
Stuck on a question? Just think of the Birdsy link in the description as your friendly neighborhood superhero, swooping in to save the day with answers. Feel free to explore it now and return to continue. Simply hit pause, and we'll be waiting when you get back.
Land use and zoning laws. Which entity is primarily responsible for enforcing zoning laws in Alaska? Is it A, state government, B, federal government, C, local municipalities, or D, real estate commissions? The answer is C, local municipalities. In Alaska, local municipalities typically enforce zoning laws. These laws regulate land use to ensure orderly development and to protect public health and welfare. Statewide zoning is less common. What is the primary purpose of zoning laws in Alaska? Is it A, to separate different land uses and prevent conflicts, B, to increase property taxes, C, to limit property ownership, or D, to control building aesthetics? The answer is A, to separate different land uses and prevent conflicts. Zoning laws primarily aim to separate land uses to prevent conflicts, promote public health and safety, and ensure sustainable development. They help manage urban growth and protect property values. Which of the following is a common type of zoning classification in Alaska? Is it A, agricultural, B, residential, C, mixed, or D, recreational? The answer is B, residential. Residential zoning is one of the most common classifications designating areas for housing. Other types include commercial and industrial, each with specific regulations for land use. How can a property owner in Alaska legally challenge a zoning ordinance? Is it A, by ignoring the ordinance, B, by applying for a federal exemption, C, by petitioning the state government, or D, by applying for a variance or appealing to a zoning board? The answer is D, by applying for a variance or appealing to a zoning board. Property owners can challenge zoning ordinances by applying for a variance or appealing to a local zoning board. This process allows exceptions to zoning laws under specific circumstances. Condominium HOAs. In Alaska, what is the primary responsibility of a homeowners association in a condominium community? Is it A, collecting individual property taxes, B, managing individual unit repairs, C, maintaining common areas and enforcing rules, or D, selling units on behalf of owners? The answer is C, maintaining common areas and enforcing rules. HOAs in Alaska are primarily responsible for maintaining common areas and enforcing community rules. They ensure the property is well kept and that residents adhere to agreed-upon regulations. What is a common requirement for amending condominium bylaws in Alaska? Is it A, approval from the state government, B, a supermajority vote from owners, C, unanimous consent of all board members, or D, approval from the local municipality? The answer is B, a supermajority vote from owners. Amending condominium bylaws typically requires a supermajority vote from the owners, ensuring that changes reflect a broad consensus within the community. Which of the following is true about special assessments in Alaska condominium associations? Is it A, they are included in monthly dues, B, they can be imposed without owner consent, C, they are only for aesthetic improvements, or D, they fund unexpected expenses or projects? The answer is D, they fund unexpected expenses or projects. Special assessments are additional charges levied on owners to fund unexpected expenses or major projects, requiring approval from the HOA board or membership. What is the role of a condominium association's board of directors in Alaska? Is it A, managing operations and enforcing bylaws, B, setting state property tax rates, C, providing legal advice to owners, or D, conducting real estate transactions? The answer is A, managing operations and enforcing bylaws. The board of directors manages the condominium's operations, including financial oversight, maintenance decisions, and enforcement of bylaws, ensuring the community functions smoothly. Environmental issues and Alaskan land rights. What is the primary purpose of the Alaska Native Claims Settlement Act? Is it A, to establish national parks in Alaska, B, to settle Aboriginal land claims and provide compensation, C, to regulate oil drilling on native lands, or D, to allocate land for urban development? The answer is B, to settle Aboriginal land claims and provide compensation. The ANCSA was enacted in 1971 to resolve long-standing issues related to Aboriginal land claims in Alaska, transferring land titles to Native corporations and providing financial compensation. How does the Alaska National Interest Lands Conservation Act impact land use in Alaska? Is it A, it designates large areas for conservation, B, it promotes unrestricted development, C, it allows for increased oil drilling, or D, it transfers land to private ownership? The answer is A, it designates large areas for conservation. ANLCA, passed in 1980, designated over 100 million acres of federal land for conservation, significantly impacting land use by preserving natural habitats and restricting certain types of development. Which agency primarily manages federal lands in Alaska? Is it A, Alaska Department of Natural Resources, B, U.S. Forest Service, C, Bureau of Land Management, or D, National Park Service? The answer is C, Bureau of Land Management. The Bureau of Land Management oversees the majority of federal lands in Alaska, managing resources and land use in accordance with federal regulations and policies. What is the significance of subsistence rights in Alaska's land use policies? Is it A, they allow for commercial fishing expansion, B, they promote urban development, C, they regulate tourism activities, or D, they ensure traditional hunting and fishing practices? The answer is D, they ensure traditional hunting and fishing practices. Subsistence rights are crucial in Alaska, allowing native and rural residents to hunt and fish for survival, impacting land use policies by prioritizing traditional lifestyles and resource management. Let's review Alaska agency law and ethics. Agency relationship laws. What is a key duty of a real estate licensee in Alaska when establishing an agency relationship with a client? Is it A, disclose the agency relationship and duties to the client, B, keep all client information confidential indefinitely, C, always act as a dual agent, or D, only represent sellers in transactions? The answer is A, disclose the agency relationship and duties to the client. In Alaska, real estate licensees must disclose their agency relationship and the associated duties to ensure clients understand the representation status and responsibilities involved. In Alaska, which of the following is not a duty owed by a real estate agent to their client? Is it A, loyalty, B, disclosure, C, confidentiality, or D, providing legal advice? The answer is D, providing legal advice. Alaska agency law requires loyalty, disclosure, and confidentiality, but does not mandate agents to provide legal advice, which should be handled by a legal professional. What must an Alaska real estate licensee do before acting as a dual agent? Is it A, notify the Alaska Real Estate Commission, B, obtain written consent from all parties involved, C, ensure that both parties are represented equally, or D, provide a discount on commission fees? The answer is B, obtain written consent from all parties involved. Alaska law requires that all parties involved in a dual agency situation provide written consent to ensure transparency and acknowledgement of the agent's role. Which scenario would terminate an agency relationship in Alaska? Is it A, the agent changes brokerage firms, B, the property listing is updated, C, the client files for bankruptcy, or D, the agent takes a vacation? The answer is C, the client files for bankruptcy. An agency relationship can be terminated by mutual agreement, completion of the transaction, expiration of the contract, or by operation of law, such as the client's bankruptcy. Fiduciary duties and client representation. In Alaska, what is the primary duty of an agent under fiduciary duties when representing a client? Is it A, B, confidentiality, C, disclosure, or D, reasonable care? The answer is A. The primary duty of an agent under fiduciary duties is loyalty. This means prioritizing the client's interests above all others, including the agent's own interests, ensuring trust and integrity in representation. Which fiduciary duty requires an agent to keep the client's information private even after the agency relationship ends? Is it A, B, C, confidentiality, or D, accounting? The answer is C, confidentiality. Confidentiality is a fiduciary duty that obligates an agent to protect a client's private information during and after the agency relationship, ensuring sensitive information is not disclosed without permission. What is the duty of full disclosure in the context of Alaska agency law? Is it A, keeping client information confidential? B, informing clients of all material facts? C, following clients' instructions? Or D, managing financial records accurately? The answer is B, informing clients of all material facts. Full disclosure requires agents to inform clients of all material facts that could affect their decisions. This ensures clients can make informed choices, maintaining transparency and trust in the agent-client relationship. How does the duty of reasonable care manifest in client representation under Alaska agency law? Is it A, prioritizing clients' interests? B, keeping clients' information private? C, disclosing all pertinent information? Or D, acting with competence and diligence? The answer is D, acting with competence and diligence. Reasonable care requires agents to act with the competence and diligence expected of a professional. This involves staying informed, providing accurate advice, and safeguarding client interests effectively. Alaska Ethics Guidelines and Enforcement. What is the primary purpose of the Alaska Real Estate Commission's Code of Ethics? Is it A, to maintain public trust by ensuring ethical standards? B, to increase sales opportunities for real estate agents? C, to provide legal advice to real estate agents? Or D, to regulate the pricing of real estate properties? The answer is A, to maintain public trust by ensuring ethical standards. The Code of Ethics aims to maintain public trust by ensuring real estate professionals adhere to high ethical standards, promoting honesty, integrity, and professionalism in all transactions. Which of the following actions is considered unethical under Alaska's real estate guidelines? Is it A, disclosing all known defects of a property? B, providing a fair market analysis for a client? C, misrepresenting material facts about a property? Or D, offering a competitive commission rate? The answer is C, misrepresenting material facts about a property. Misrepresenting material facts about a property is unethical as it can lead to misinformation and potential harm to the client, violating the duty of honesty and integrity. Under Alaska ethics guidelines, what is the consequence of a real estate agent failing to disclose a conflict of interest? Is it A, increased sales opportunities? B, potential disciplinary action by the Commission? C, enhanced client trust? Or D, no consequences if the client is unaware? The answer is B, potential disciplinary action by the Commission. Failing to disclose a conflict of interest can lead to disciplinary action by the Alaska Real Estate Commission, as it undermines trust and violates ethical obligations. How often must Alaska real estate professionals complete ethics training to maintain their license? Is it A, annually? B, every 3 years? C, every 5 years? Or D, every 2 years? The answer is D, every 2 years. Alaska mandates ethics training as part of continuing education every 2 years to ensure that professionals remain current with ethical standards and practices.
Stuck on a question? Just think of the Birdsy link in the description as your friendly neighborhood superhero swooping in to save the day with answers. Feel free to explore it now and return to continue. Simply hit pause, and we'll be waiting when you get back.
Now let's look at Alaska property valuation. Basic principles of property valuation. What is the primary purpose of the cost approach in property valuation? Is it A, to determine market trends? B, to estimate the replacement cost? C, to assess the property's income potential? Or D, to compare similar properties? The answer is B, to estimate the replacement cost. The cost approach estimates the value of a property by calculating the cost to replace or reproduce it, minus depreciation, plus land value. It's useful for new constructions or unique properties. Which principle states that the value of a property is influenced by the value of surrounding properties? Is it A, principle of substitution, B, principle of progression, C, principle of conformity, or D, principle of regression? The answer is C, principle of conformity. The principle of conformity suggests that a property's value is optimized when it harmonizes with its surroundings, ensuring consistency in style, quality, and use. In Alaska property valuation, what does the principle of highest and best use refer to? Is it A, the most profitable legal use, B, the current use of the property, C, the use that requires the least maintenance, or D, the use that aligns with community standards? The answer is A, the most profitable legal use. The principle of highest and best use identifies the most profitable legal and feasible use of a property, considering its potential to yield the greatest return. What is the principle of anticipation in property valuation? Is it A, the expectation of immediate resale, B, the desire for minimal investment, C, the need for property improvements, or D, the expectation of future benefits? The answer is D, the expectation of future benefits. The principle of anticipation holds that property value is based on the expected future benefits or income it will generate, influencing buyers' willingness to pay. Sales comparison, cost, and income approaches. Which approach in property valuation is most suitable when valuing a new construction in Anchorage, Alaska? Is it A, sales comparison approach, B, income approach, C, cost approach, or D, market approach? The answer is C, cost approach. The cost approach is most suitable for new constructions as it estimates the value based on the cost to build the structure minus depreciation, which is minimal in new buildings. In the sales comparison approach, what is the primary factor considered when adjusting comparable sales? Is it A, B, age of the property, C, number of bedrooms, or D, size? The answer is A, location. Location is a primary factor in adjustments because it significantly affects property value. Differences in location can lead to substantial price variations. What is a key limitation of the cost approach in property valuation? Is it A, complex calculations, B, time-consuming process, C, requires expert appraisers, or D, does not reflect market conditions? The answer is D, does not reflect market conditions. The cost approach does not account for market conditions or the property's ability to generate income, making it less reliable for older properties or in fluctuating markets. When using the income approach, what is the capitalization rate primarily used to determine? Is it A, market value of the property, B, present value of expected income, C, future income potential, or D, depreciation rate? The answer is B, present value of expected income. The capitalization rate is used to convert an income stream into an estimate of present value, reflecting the return on investment expected by investors. Now let's review Alaska real estate financing. Mortgage loans and financing options. Which type of mortgage loan is specifically designed to assist first-time homebuyers in Alaska? Is it A, jumbo loan, B, AHFC first-time homebuyer loan, C, reverse mortgage, or D, adjustable rate mortgage? The answer is B, AHFC first-time homebuyer loan. The Alaska Housing Finance Corporation offers specific programs to aid first-time homebuyers, providing lower interest rates and down payment assistance to make homeownership more accessible. What is a key feature of the energy efficiency interest rate reduction program offered in Alaska? Is it A, reduced interest rates for energy-efficient homes, B, higher loan limits for luxury properties. C. Fixed interest rate for the loan term. Or D. No down payment requirement. The answer is A. Reduced interest rates for energy-efficient homes. The Energy Efficiency Interest Rate Reduction Program offers lower interest rates to encourage energy-efficient home improvements, thus reducing utility costs and promoting environmental sustainability. What distinguishes a VA loan available in Alaska from other loan types? Is it A. Higher interest rates for veterans? B. Mandatory private mortgage insurance? C. No down payment for eligible veterans? Or D. Exclusive to first-time homebuyers? The answer is C. No down payment for eligible veterans. VA loans are backed by the Department of Veterans Affairs and offer benefits such as no down payment and reduced interest rates for eligible veterans, making them unique compared to conventional loans. Which mortgage option is best suited for buyers in Alaska who plan to sell or refinance within a few years? Is it A. Fixed-rate mortgage? B. Balloon mortgage? C. Interest-only mortgage? Or D. Adjustable-rate mortgage? The answer is D. Adjustable-rate mortgage. Adjustable-rate mortgages offer lower initial interest rates, ideal for buyers planning to sell or refinance before the rates adjust, thus benefiting from the initial lower payments. Loan applications and approval processes. Which of the following is required for a loan application to be considered complete in Alaska? Is it A. A signed purchase agreement? B. A uniform residential loan application? C. Proof of insurance? Or D. A home inspection report? The answer is B. A uniform residential loan application. A complete loan application in Alaska requires a uniform residential loan application, which includes borrower details, property information, income, and asset documentation. This ensures the lender has sufficient information to assess the application. What is the primary factor lenders consider when approving a loan application in Alaska? Is it A. Creditworthiness? B. Property location? C. Employment history? Or D. Loan amount? The answer is A. Creditworthiness. Creditworthiness, often assessed via credit score, is the primary factor. It indicates the borrower's ability to repay the loan and impacts interest rates and approval likelihood. How does the Alaska Housing Finance Corporation assist first-time homebuyers? Is it A. By offering free home inspections? B. By reducing property taxes? C. By providing down payment assistance? Or D. By guaranteeing loan approvals? The answer is C. By providing down payment assistance. AHFC offers programs such as tax credits and down payment assistance to make homeownership more accessible for first-time buyers, reducing financial barriers and encouraging home ownership. What is a common reason for loan application denial in Alaska? Is it A. High property taxes? B. Lack of a cosigner? C. Inadequate home insurance? Or D. Insufficient income? The answer is D. Insufficient income. Insufficient income is a common reason for denial, as lenders need assurance that borrowers can manage monthly payments alongside their other financial obligations. Alaska mortgage disclosure requirements. What is the primary purpose of the Alaska mortgage disclosure requirements? Is it A. To increase the number of mortgage approvals? B. To ensure transparency and protect consumers? C. To standardize interest rates across lenders? Or D. To reduce paperwork for lenders? The answer is B. To ensure transparency and protect consumers. The Alaska mortgage disclosure requirements aim to ensure transparency and protect consumers by providing them with critical information about the terms and costs associated with their mortgage loans. Which document must be provided to borrowers under Alaska's mortgage disclosure requirements? Is it A. Loan estimate? B. credit report, C, appraisal report, or D, title insurance policy? The answer is A, loan estimate. The loan estimate is a key document that must be provided to borrowers, detailing the estimated costs and terms of the mortgage, ensuring borrowers are informed before proceeding. How soon must the closing disclosure be provided to borrowers before closing a mortgage under Alaska law? Is it A, 1 business day, B, 2 business days, C, 3 business days, or D, 5 business days? The answer is C, 3 business days. The closing disclosure is required to be given to borrowers at least 3 business days before closing, allowing them to review the final terms and costs of their mortgage. What is a key feature of the Truth in Lending Act that impacts Alaska mortgage disclosures? Is it A, mandates fixed interest rates, B, ensures loan approval within 30 days, C, requires lenders to provide free credit scores, or D, requires disclosure of the annual percentage rate? The answer is D, requires disclosure of the annual percentage rate. TILA requires lenders to disclose the annual percentage rate and other loan terms, ensuring consumers can compare costs and terms of different loans effectively.
Notice the code in the corner? When you're stumped by a question, enter it at birdsy.ai for immediate help. Enjoy complimentary study sessions and access to hundreds of additional questions to help you pass your exam with confidence.
Alaska-specific loan programs. Which of the following is a characteristic of the Alaska Housing Finance Corporation loan programs? Is it A, they are available nationwide, B, they include options for energy-efficient homes, C, they require a minimum of 30% down payment, or D, they are only for first-time homebuyers? The answer is B, they include options for energy-efficient homes. The AHFC offers loan programs specifically designed to support Alaska residents in purchasing homes, including options for energy efficiency and rural properties, making them unique compared to standard loan programs. What is a unique feature of the Veterans Mortgage Program offered in Alaska? Is it A, it is available to all residents, B, it requires a high credit score, C, it offers lower interest rates for veterans, or D, it mandates a 20-year loan term? The answer is C, it offers lower interest rates for veterans. The Veterans Mortgage Program in Alaska allows qualifying veterans to access lower interest rates, which can significantly reduce the cost of homeownership over time. How does the Rural Development Loan Program benefit Alaskan homebuyers? Is it A, it provides no down payment options, B, it requires urban residency, C, it limits eligibility to first-time buyers, or D, it mandates energy-efficient construction? The answer is A, it provides no down payment options. The Rural Development Loan Program offers no down payment options to make homeownership more accessible in rural areas, addressing the unique challenges faced by Alaskan residents in these regions. What distinguishes the teacher, health professional, and public safety housing program in Alaska? Is it A, it is available to all professions, B, it requires a minimum of 25% down payment, C, it focuses on luxury home purchases, or D, it offers financial aid to essential workers? The answer is D, it offers financial aid to essential workers. This program offers financial assistance to essential workers like teachers and health professionals, recognizing their critical roles and helping them afford housing in challenging markets. Alaska Housing Finance Corporation. What is the primary purpose of the Alaska Housing Finance Corporation? Is it A, to regulate the housing market in Alaska, B, to offer affordable housing solutions to Alaskans, C, to manage federal housing policies in Alaska, or D, to develop luxury housing projects? The answer is B, to offer affordable housing solutions to Alaskans. AHFC's primary purpose is to provide Alaskans with affordable housing options through various programs, including loan and mortgage services. It aims to improve the state's housing infrastructure and accessibility. Which program does AHFC offer to assist first-time homebuyers in Alaska? Is it A, First Home Program, B, Luxury Housing Initiative, C, Senior Housing Assistance, or D, Commercial Property Fund? The answer is A, First Home Program. The First Home Program provides financial assistance to first-time homebuyers, making it easier for them to purchase their first home by offering lower interest rates and down payment options. How does AHFC support energy efficiency in housing? Is it A, by providing tax incentives, B, by mandating energy audits, C, through the Home Energy Rebate Program, or D, by offering free solar panels? The answer is C, through the Home Energy Rebate Program. AHFC offers the Home Energy Rebate Program to encourage energy efficiency by providing rebates for homeowners who make energy-saving improvements, thus reducing energy consumption and costs. What type of financing does AHFC provide for rental housing development? Is it A, single-family home loans, B, multifamily loan programs, C, commercial real estate loans, or D, vacation rental financing? The answer is B, multifamily loan programs. AHFC provides multifamily loan programs to support the development of rental housing, ensuring that there are adequate, affordable rental options available for Alaskans. Let's test your understanding of Alaska disclosure requirements and forms. Alaska-specific disclosure requirements. Which document is required to disclose property defects in Alaska? Is it A, Property Disclosure Statement, B, Title Insurance Policy, C, Inspection Report, or D, Purchase Agreement? The answer is A, Property Disclosure Statement. In Alaska, sellers must provide a property disclosure statement to inform buyers of any known property defects. This ensures transparency and protects both parties in the transaction. What must a seller disclose about water rights in Alaska? Is it A, nothing, water rights are not disclosed, B, any existing water rights, C, only water rights for agricultural use, or D, water rights are disclosed only upon request? The answer is B, any existing water rights. In Alaska, sellers are required to disclose any water rights associated with the property. This ensures buyers are fully informed about potential water use and access issues. When is a lead-based paint disclosure required in Alaska? Is it A, for all homes regardless of age, B, only for homes built after 1980, C, for homes built before 1978, or D, only if the buyer requests it? The answer is C, for homes built before 1978. A lead-based paint disclosure is required for homes built before 1978 in Alaska. This federal requirement aims to protect buyers from the hazards of lead paint exposure. What is the purpose of the Alaska Real Estate Commission's Consumer Disclosure Form? Is it A, to list property features, B, to detail financing options, C, to disclose environmental hazards, or D, to explain agency relationships? The answer is D, to explain agency relationships. The Consumer Disclosure Form informs buyers and sellers about the roles and responsibilities of real estate licensees. This ensures transparency and understanding of the agency relationships involved. Commonly used Alaska forms. Which form is commonly used in Alaska to disclose the condition of a property to potential buyers? Is it A, lead-based paint disclosure, B, property disclosure statement, C, seller's affidavit, or D, buyer's acknowledgement form? The answer is B, property disclosure statement. The property disclosure statement is a standard form in Alaska that provides buyers with information about the condition and history of the property, ensuring transparency in real estate transactions. What is the primary purpose of the Alaska Real Estate Commission consumer pamphlet? Is it A, to inform consumers about their rights and duties of licensees? B, to provide detailed property inspection reports? C, to outline the steps for obtaining a real estate license? Or D, to list available properties for sale in Alaska? The answer is A, to inform consumers about their rights and duties of licensees. The Alaska Real Estate Commission consumer pamphlet informs consumers about their rights and the duties of real estate licensees, promoting informed decision-making in real estate transactions. In Alaska, what must be disclosed about a property located in a flood zone? Is it A, the property's architectural style? B, the property's age? C, flood zone status and potential insurance requirements? Or D, the property's previous owners? The answer is C, flood zone status and potential insurance requirements. Alaska requires sellers to disclose if a property is in a flood zone, as this affects insurance requirements and potential risks, ensuring buyers are fully informed of environmental hazards. What information is typically included in the Alaska Residential Purchase and Sale Agreement? Is it A, the buyer's employment history? B, the seller's credit score? C, the property's landscaping plans? Or D, terms of sale, property details, and price? The answer is D, terms of sale, property details, and price. The Alaska Residential Purchase and Sale Agreement includes terms of sale, property details, price, and conditions, ensuring both parties agree on the transaction's specifics and legal obligations. Specific procedures for transactions. What is required by Alaska law before a real estate transaction can be completed? Is it A, a verbal agreement? B, an inspection report? C, a property disclosure statement? Or D, a title insurance policy? The answer is C, a property disclosure statement. Alaska law mandates that sellers provide a property disclosure statement to potential buyers before finalizing a transaction. This document outlines property conditions and any known issues. Which party is responsible for completing the property disclosure statement in an Alaska real estate transaction? Is it A, the seller? B, the buyer? C, the real estate agent? Or D, the escrow company? The answer is A, the seller. The seller is responsible for completing the property disclosure statement to provide accurate information about the property's condition to prospective buyers. When must a property disclosure statement be provided to a buyer in Alaska? Is it A, after the offer is accepted? B, before the buyer makes a written offer? C, at closing? Or D, during the home inspection? The answer is B, before the buyer makes a written offer. The property disclosure statement must be provided to the buyer before the buyer makes a written offer, ensuring informed decision-making. How long does a buyer have to rescind an offer after receiving the property disclosure statement in Alaska? Is it A, 24 hours, B, 48 hours, C, or D, 72 hours? The answer is D, 72 hours. Buyers have 72 hours to rescind their offer after receiving the property disclosure statement, allowing them time to consider the property's disclosed conditions.
Thanks for joining us today. If you found this video helpful, subscribe to our channel for more practice exams, tips, and tricks. And don't forget to visit Birdsy.ai for complimentary study sessions with Birdsy, your AI-powered study partner.